I really enjoy having a pipe on a summer night, but the last couple of years, nicotine has really been bothering my stomach. Now, the point of it was never to have nicotine. I could do without the nicotine, but I really enjoyed having a pipe nevertheless. I've been doing some reading up on different herbal tobacco substitutes, and I found that here in Canada they are a little harder to come by and a little more expensive time you get the shipping. But there are a lot of recipes online and different mixtures. So I decided to try my own. We're going to see how this goes. I've got a mixture, first of all, of Mullein, red raspberry, and Uva Ursi. I've got 2 teaspoons of the Mullein and red raspberry leaf, and 1 of the Uva Ursi. From what my reading tells me, Mullein makes a good base because it's nice and fluffy, but it has kind of a bland flavor. Red raspberry is also a good base because it's also fluffy. And the Uva Ursi gives it more astringence, so it's a little bit more like a tobacco and a bit of a medium body. I tried to find just loose herbs at the health food store, and the closest they had were these teas which just have one thing in them. They are organic, so I figured this should work as well as anything. I've got it mixed up. I added 5 drops of real vanilla extract and about 10 drops of water, and it has a nice consistency. It's a little bit more moist than I would like for a tobacco, but we'll see. Well, first we'll see how it packs. This is a virgin pipe. It's never been smoked before. I made it from a kit a couple of years ago, just a straight billiard shape. I'm really interested to see how this compares to tobacco in terms of the experience. I like to use the 3-part pack method, where you put in a bowl full, pack it down a little more firmly, or sorry, a little more lightly. The medium one, you pack it down a little more firmly, and then your final one, you pack it down tightly. I find that works pretty well for me, and I think there is more than what the bowl can accommodate, but not by much. It's about the 5 teaspoons seem to be about a bowl full, and that's a pretty good size bowl. I didn't do measurements before I started recording the video. I probably should have, but that's okay. Now we'll give it a fourth part there. I like to get the top nice and tight. Draw's not bad. It's actually, yeah, if I had tobacco packed like that, I'd be very happy. I got my nice Zippo. It's the nicest lighter I have. I splurged one day and decided I'll get a nice thing. I don't like to spend a lot of money on things, but it's got the pipe insert for pipe lighting. Let's see how it is. That's a charring light. And then I'll just let it go out. But it definitely isn't tobacco. There's a little more bitterness to it. Although I've had tobacco blends that are kind of bitter like that. It tastes like there's a little, I mean, it reminds me a little bit of, there's kind of a Latakia undercurrent to it. Probably because Latakia tastes like a campfire, and most burning herbs kind of taste like a campfire. All right, it's out. And I don't know if it'll keep going nicely like tobacco, but let's see. It's missing sweetness. Which is okay. I don't mind an aromatic blend, but it doesn't have the sweetness of even, say, a Virginia. It takes a little work to keep it going. So far, really no tongue bite. Oh, it's nice on the retrohale. Oh, it's very pleasant on the retrohale. My first impressions are very good of this. This is a good experiment to try. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the delayed gratification method, where I'm going to put this down, I'll let it go out, I'll come back to it in maybe an hour. That tends to work really well with tobaccos. Sometimes even doing the charring light the night before is nice. So I'm going to see how this works with the herbal tobacco. It's been about an hour since I lit this up, did the charring light, and tried one more light on it. I have not lit it again. I just want to see what the draw is like, what it tastes like through there. It actually has a mild oriental flavor to it. I'm not the biggest fan of the oriental style tobaccos, but I don't mind them. There's a certain sharpness that they have that this possesses. All right, let's see how it is on the Relight. Ooh. Ooh. That is very interesting. It's like the flavor of it opened up. It has a tea-like quality to it. And I don't mean because it came from boxes of herbal tea, but black tea. Virginias can often have a kind of a tea and citrus type flavor. I don't notice any citrus notes on this, but I do notice some of the tea notes. But it doesn't want to stay lit. That's its maybe Achilles heel. It might need a tighter pack. I'll give it a little tamping here. It might need a tighter pack than I gave it, or it might just be the mixture of herbs. There might be some herbs that it does a better job staying lit. It might be slightly too moist. This reminds me of the first time I tried Amphora's Virginia. I never had a bag of it like it since, but the first time I got it, it was quite wet still. So I let it dry, a couple pinches of it dry out for a few hours before I had it. And it was my first exposure to Virginia. I was fairly new at pipe smoking, and from the moment I tried it, I fell in love. Every pouch of the Amphora Virginia I had after that, I felt like I was trying to chase after it, but it had the loveliest tea and lemon quality to it, and this has the tea quality. I'm going to call this a successful experiment. I noticed that it has a slight bit of tongue bite. It might be because I haven't smoked a pipe for over a year. the bowl is running somewhat hot. Could also have to do with the moisture content in it. And I think next time I'm going to try to add a little, maybe a half a drop of honey into the water that I use with it. I might mix up something like a spritzer with some distilled water and a little tiny bit of honey. That will actually make it run hotter, but it will add a certain bit of that Virginia sweetness to it. From what I understand, Virginias are a little higher in sugar, so they tend to burn hotter but have that underlying sweet characteristic to it. So I'm going to smoke it down and see how it behaves, and I'll report back. I've taken it down to about a third left, and what I found is tongue bite well controlled. Still there a little bit. I've used one pipe cleaner just to wick the moisture out of the stem once. The flavor has improved. It has moved towards the bottom of the bowl, but it doesn't like to stay lit. But it does give some really tasty, glorious smoke that's nice on the palate and really nice on the retrohale. I find as I've gone through and gotten towards the bottom of the bowl, the flavor of it is getting punchier, spicier. It has more flavor. The first little bit of it was a little bit bitter, and it didn't have a lot of body to it. But as I've progressed through the bowl, the body has definitely come up. So I kind of wonder about pressing it into a cake, adding in some other things to give it more body, like willow bark is another possibility. I've also seen a few other types of herbs, the names have escaped me now, that might give it a little bit more oomph. On the whole though, very pleasant, not a bad alternative at all if you want to smoke a pipe, but you can't have nicotine. Cheers.